Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. It's now time for the featured bout of the evening. From the four corners of the world to the four corners of this ring, the fight starts now!
This is something that comes along every now and then in generation, and it's special. And it's no hype. I'm telling you, it's special.
No respect to this guy. Let's go.
Now he's got the fire inside!
You better believe it now. That was something special.
CONOR gets the win!
20 rounds, strong team victory.
It is over! Her professional record, a perfect one.
Remember, capture the body.
Great finish from a great finisher.
It was Lamb versus Lion, and still the undisputed champion of the world.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome from Liverpool. We are 24 hours away from Fight Night. Conor Benn with his fourth fight inside 12 months, and he faces former world title holder Chris Algieri, the former super lightweight world champion, on Saturday night at the Echo Arena in Liverpool. And Algieri in a confident mood when we spoke to him yesterday. Darren looks fresh, looks well, and really believes after a year of upsets that he can be the latest to spoil the party.
He fancies it, and you can tell when you're speaking to someone if they mean it or not. And Chris Algieri truly believes that he has the experience, he said it yesterday, and just the boxing know-how to cause Conor lots of problems and therefore become the winner. Look, Chris has dreams and aspirations still at 37 years old. He wants to be in big fights. He still wants a title challenge for world titles, etc. He just believes he's got enough. But on the flip side, Conor Benn, he looks a handful. He's improving all the time, full of spite and venom, and really eager to put on a good display Saturday.
Yeah, it certainly is. Well, the two main eventers will be weighing in. Our chief support as well, Katie Taylor and Kazakhstan's first female professional fighter, Feruza Sharipova, will contest the undisputed lightweight world championships on Saturday night, and there are a number of other fights on the undercard as well that will weigh in. Joe Mcgrail, Peter Mcgrail, Jordan Gill back in action as well. Paddy Lacey, of course, Callum French, Kevin Agyarko, and another American who's in very, very confident form, also at 37 in the prime of his life, Hank Lundy, who believes that he's going to spring, well, he wouldn't see it as an upset against Robbie Davies Jr., but certainly people would expect Davies, if he wants to push on, to deal with this guy. Yeah,
I mean, you speak to Lundy, being a proud Philadelphian, proud, you know, fighting city that is, you know, full of warriors, and he looks at Robbie Davies Jr. Speaking to him a couple of days ago, he's almost laughing Robbie Davies off to an extent, to say, you know, I'm miles better than this guy. You know, I'm going to be the next B-Hop, Bernard Hopkins. I'm going to win a world title at whatever year's age, and he really fancies it. Robbie Davies Jr., like you say, seems like he's going down this international route. He needs to take care of Lundy. I'm interested to see where the winner of this goes. Yeah. What sort of opportunities are going to come up from it.
Joe Cordina in action as well, WBA Continental Super Featherweight title against Miko, Catchatrian, and Cordina, of course. We heard him yesterday talking about the potential fight with Kenichi Agyarko, who Matchroom have just signed the new £126 IBF champion, £130 IBF champion, I beg your pardon. Big kind of aspirations and a big year for Cordina. Got his confidence back with a great win at Fight Camp. Wow. And next year really could be his year, couldn't it? Yeah, well, look, 100%. Look, gets past Catchatrian, then we're looking at world title. 100% next year. Catchatrian is a good fighter. I said to you on the train up, there's a lot to like about him. He's not in the same league as Joe Cordina, but I think he could pose some problems early on. Spoke to Joe yesterday after the press conference, and he agrees. He said, look, I've got to be at my best to beat him, but he doesn't. He wants to look good. He wants to put in a good performance and then crack on for a world title shot next year. He deserves it. Yeah. That was Chris Algieri just checking his weight before he hits the scales in probably about half an hour's time, I would imagine fighters will want to rush through this. Callum French and Rustam Fekulian will not be weighing in until after the stream because Fekulian's stuck in traffic, as is Paddy Lacey's opponent. So just so if you wonder why those two are omitted, we'll be starting in a few moments' time with Joe Mcgrail, who makes his debut. We saw Peter Mcgrail make his debut on the Smith Fowler undercard in Liverpool a few weeks ago. He will be second up on the televised bill, live on the Zone. Starts at 6 o'clock local time, about an hour earlier than usual because we've got such a packed schedule. Opening that bill will be the explosive Irish fighter Kevin Agyarko, and obviously with Carl Frampton retiring earlier on this year, it's left a sizable gap to be filled by a load of young up-and-coming Irish fighters, and Agyarko really believes he can be the next superstar for Irish boxing. Yeah, and I'd have to agree with him. I think he's right up there. He's a tremendous talent. Excuse me. He's very good. I mean, he's got a bit of everything. Extremely fast hands. He's explosive. He can punch. And I'll tell you what, he's a lovely lad to boot as well. And yeah, big dreams and aspirations for him. And I think he can go all the way. Great stuff. Well, lots to look forward to tomorrow night and lots to look forward to this afternoon. We're going to get the weigh-in underway. Let's hand you over to our MC for the afternoon. As always, Mr. David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the historic George Street Congregational Church, aka the Blackie, here in Liverpool, England, for the official weigh-in for a big night of fights taking place here on Saturday night. It's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. We're sponsored by Betfred, StubHub, Wow Hydrate, and JD Sports, and all the action will go out live around the world exclusively on Dazn. It's a stacked fight card with 10 fights, 5 title fights, and 1 undisputed world championship fight. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring the fighters up to the stage so they can face the scale and face each other. Our first contest, 4 rounds in the super bantamweight division. Now making his way to the stage, de Andalucía, España. Please welcome Francisco Rodriguez. And his opponent now making his way to the stage. Saturday night, he'll be making his professional debut, fighting out of Liverpool, England, Joe Mcgrail. Now to the scale, ladies and gentlemen, Francisco Rodriguez. 117 and 11 ounces. And now to the scale, ladies and gentlemen. For the first time as a professional, please welcome Joe Mcgrail. 121 and 14 ounces for Joe Mcgrail. 121 and 14 ounces for Joe Mcgrail.
Zapatos. Joe. So yeah, once he's up there, don't you? That white line. To the front of those. Face to face, please.
Mcgrail versus Rodriguez, 4-round super bantamweights, Liverpool, England, Matchroom Boxing.
It's from Andalusia in Spain. 0-3 is the debut opponent for young Joe Mcgrail. He was European junior silver medalist. He's 19 years of age. Inspiring Kid Galahad and Sonny Edwards in preparation for this one. Ready to go, yeah. And if he gets a reception, you know, a little bit like he had this afternoon, like Peter had a few weeks ago, it's going to be a special night for him tomorrow.
Yeah, his heart would have been pounding there. You know, he'll be taking it all in. I mean, you think his heart's pounding there, you wait till tomorrow, that buzz he's going to get, you know. His debut, you only get one debut, it's fantastic. He's just got to enjoy every second of it and take care of business. And another one, like all of these young talented fighters, as long as they keep learning and improving and keep winning, they're going to be on some journey.
Yeah, I asked him, I said, how come you chose to turn over so young and not stay on? He said, well, I could have gone to, you know, the next amateur cycle. He said, but been in the gym with obviously all the lads, Andrew Kane and Nick Ball and Bradley Strand and other guys in the Everton Red Triangle, and of course his brother as well, though they don't really tend to spar together, and just said, look, I just fancied it, just think it's my time and I want to kind of make some headway. You can understand that, can't you?
Yeah, and obviously being at Smith Fowler, watching his brother fight and think, do you know what, I fancy some of this, I'll have this. And look, like I said to you yesterday, that's what you dream of when you're a young fighter, these big pro shows, you want to go to the Olympics, etc. You dream of having your debut and being a professional boxer, and that's exactly what he's doing now.
Yeah, certainly is. We'll have another fight after this on Before the Bell, Callum French and Rustam Fekulin, but they're not weighing until after the stream. If you join us at the top, I mentioned that earlier on, just because Fekulin is stuck in traffic. Bit of a wound for Callum French, having to wait a little bit longer to weigh in, but we will be seeing them. And after that, we'll be seeing Jordan Gill. Was supposed to be fighting for the European title, but Kareem Guerfi has been suffering with long COVID, so we wish him well, and hopefully those two will get it on in the first quarter of next year. But he has got an opponent, Alan Castillo. They've got in box 8 3-minute rounds on Before the Bell tomorrow afternoon, and both guys are ready to weigh in, so we'll hand you back to David.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next contest, 8 rounds in the featherweight division. And now making his way to the stage, professional record, 27 wins, 11 losses. He has 10 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Cordoba, Argentina, he is the former South American featherweight champion, Alan El Lumbre Luques Castillo. And his opponent now making his way to the stage, his professional record, 26 victories, only 1 defeat. He has 7 wins coming by way of knockout. Here's the former Commonwealth and the WBA International Featherweight Champion, Jordan, the Thrill Gill. And now on the scale, ladies and gentlemen, Alan Luques Castillo. 127 bang on, 127 for Alan Castillo. And now to the scale, the young man from Chatteris, Jordan, the Thrill Gill. 128 and 10 ounces for Jordan Gill. Gill versus Castillo, 8 rounds, featherweights, matchroom boxing.
Of course, Gill was mandatory for Andoni Gargo when he held the EBU title, and then of course Green Guerfi stepped in, beat Gago, and Gill has been mandatory for him as well. So he's been waiting about a year, it feels like, to get a shot at the European title. But in the meantime, a good experienced opponent, and should get a few rounds out of this guy as well.
I think you could see the 8 rounds. Castillo's only been stopped twice in 11 defeats. You know, he knows how to fight. He's not bad at all. You know, 20-odd wins there. So yeah, I think rounds would be good for Jordan. You know, push on to a big 2022 with a couple of, a few rounds under his belt.
Yeah, busy couple of weeks for Dave Caldwell. He's got Lerone Richards in a huge fight against Carlos Gongora next weekend, and of course he's in the main event corner as well. David Chisora back working with him as well. That will be live on Dazn next weekend from Manchester. If you needed any reminding, Parker Chisora 2. Very, very interesting fight. This two have had a little bit more time to kind of assess how they felt the first fight goes. Parker's had a bit more time with Andy Lee, a lot more time in fact, to work on things. Who do you see prevailing in that rematch? Who do you think can make the adjustments?
Look, I feel Parker can make more adjustments, because I just feel at this stage in his career, Derek Chisora is only going to fight one way. So if you're Andy Lee and you're Josie Parker, you know exactly how to approach the fight, and you can learn from that first one and just make those little adjustments. But one thing's for sure, saying that, Derek Chisora always brings it, so he's never in a boring fight, really. So it's going to be a cracker.
Certainly is. Paddy Lacey will be the final fight before the bell tomorrow night, but he's not here. He's weighing in because his opponent is in the same car as Callum French's opponent. So those guys have got to hang on and wait. We'll be starting the live broadcast, as I mentioned, at 6 o'clock on Dazn local time. Kevin Agyarko, the big middleweight who's looking to become Ireland's next boxing hope. His debut as a matchroom fighter up against American Noe Larios Jr. could be a really good fight. This to open the show, and both guys are ready to weigh in.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next contest seems like a can't miss. 2 young undefeated fighters in a Nixon Hill contest for the vacant WBA International Middleweight Championship. And now making his way to the stage, please welcome from Ramona, California, undefeated 14-0, 6 wins coming by way of knockout, Noe Larios Jr. Larios Jr. And his opponent now making his way to the stage, also undefeated, 9-0 with 6 knockouts, fighting out of Belfast, Northern Ireland. Please welcome Kevin Black Thunder Agyarko. And on the scale, ladies and gentlemen, Noe Larios Jr.
Ounces over. 160 and 3 ounces. How long
160 and 3 ounces for Noe Larios.
take the mask off as well.
Can we get someone? Give it someone on the other side. Right. $160.
160 bang on for Larios Jr. 160 bang on. And now to the scale, ladies and gentlemen, the undefeated Kevin Black Thunder Agyarko.
159 and 5 ounces.
159 and 5 ounces for Kevin Agyarko. Agyarko, Larios Jr. 10 rounds for the vacant WBA International Middleweight Championship.
Looks very strong, very fresh at the weight. Agyarko, Larios on the nose with no clothes. We were talking about kind of this obsession that British fighters have had over the years of just being huge at the weight for the sake of being the tall, the rangy fighter. But actually, how much better? Speaking to Kevin, a bit of dinner last night, had a bit of breakfast this morning. He said, I feel good and refreshed. You can see in the eyes, he looks good. And he's going to be bullishly strong in there tomorrow night.
You're right there. It's this old-fashioned thing. You want to be big, you want to get that advantage. But really and truly, you want to be strong at the weight, don't you? You know, what you make up, I guess, when you lack in reach and height, you make up real physical strength. And you can see it with Agyarko there. He's a real unit. He is. He's solid. And Larios, I'm really intrigued to see how he approaches the fight. He likes to move. He's elusive, but I don't think he's going to be able to do that against Agyarko. He's got to be smart. He's got to let his hands go, but he can't be greedy. It's a very tough night for him because I really do rate Agyarko.
Yeah, used to fighting in Tier 1 Larios, but he's going to be under a whole heap of pressure tomorrow night. That's going to open the bill. 10 rounds WBA International Middleweight title on the line. And second on the bill, Peter Mcgrail, who we saw make his debut a few weeks ago, is in action against Engel Gomez. Both guys are ready to weigh in, so let's hand you back to David.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next contest, 6 rounds in the super bantamweight division. Now making his way to the stage, his professional record, 8 victories, 3 defeats, 1 draw. He has 4 wins coming by way of knockout. Presentando de Chinandega, Nicaragua, please welcome Engel El Cojete Gomez. And his opponent now making his way to the stage. His young professional record thus far perfect. 1 fight, 1 victory. Please welcome the 2017 European Amateur Gold Medalist, the 2018 Commonwealth Games Gold Medalist, proudly representing the Everton Red Triangle Club, fighting out of Liverpool, England, Peter Mcgrail. And out of the scale, ladies and gentlemen, El Cojete, Engel Gomez. £124 and 12 ounces for Engel Gomez. And now to the scale, ladies and gentlemen, the young undefeated Liverpudlian, please welcome Peter Mcgrail. 123 and 4 ounces for Peter Mcgrail. 123 and 4 ounces for Peter Mcgrail. Mcgrail versus Gomez, 6-round super bantamweights, matchroom boxing.
Engel Gomez, 21 years of age from Chinandega in Nicaragua, who's the second opponent for Peter Mcgrail, and it's a proper boxing city, Liverpool. They know their amateur stuff and they know what they're looking at in this double world medalist, European gold medalist, Commonwealth champion as well, and Olympian Peter Mcgrail. Special career ahead, we think.
I don't think that the viewers at home understand how hard it is to become the #1 amateur in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, that is so difficult. The pool of fighters out there is incredible, and that just shows the talent of this man. He has got it all, and a tremendous talent, and like you say, a great career ahead of him.
And another one who has potentially an even greater year next year, Joe Cordina, got such a career ahead of him. He's up against Miko, Catchatrian, 10 rounds to the WBA Continental Super Featherweight title. Both guys ready to weigh. And let's head back to the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next fight, both undefeated fighters in another Nixon Hill contest. 10 rounds for the WBA Continental Super Featherweight Championship. At this time, making his way to the stage, please welcome the challenger. His professional record, 13 victories, no defeats. He has 7 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Liège, Belgium. Please welcome the Belgian lightweight champion and the IBO International Super Featherweight champion. Here is the Prince of Liège, Miko Catchatrian. And his opponent now making his way to the stage, he is the defending titleist. His professional record also perfect, 13 victories, no defeats. He has 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Cardiff, Wales, here's the former British lightweight champion, the former Commonwealth lightweight champion, and the reigning, defending, undefeated WBA Continental Super Featherweight champion, Joe, the Welsh Wizard, Cordina. And now to the scale, ladies and gentlemen, Miko Catchatrian.
129 and 12 ounces.
129 and 12 ounces for Catchatrian, the challenger. And now to the scale, ladies and gentlemen, Joe, the Welsh Wizard, Cordina.
129 and 15 ounces.
129 and 15 ounces for Joe Cordina. 129 and 15 ounces. Cordina versus Catchatrian, 10 rounds for the WBA Continental Super Featherweight Championship.
Yeah, cannot afford to lose focus on Saturday with what could potentially be a very, very big year for him next year, Joe Cordina.
Yeah, absolutely. Needs to win good, and then push on to a massive, 2022. I think 2022 could be the year for Joe Cordina.
Good stuff. And it could be for Robbie Davies Jr. as well, but he's got to get past Hank Lundy if he wants to push on to bigger things in the 140-pound division. The American is in great spirits and very, very confident of pulling this one off Saturday night. Both guys ready to weigh in. Let's head back over to the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weigh-in for this stacked fight card continues. Our next contest, 10 rounds for the vacant WBA Continental Super Lightweight Championship. And now making his way to the stage, please welcome professional record, 31 victories, 9 defeats, 1 draw. He has 14 wins coming by way of knockout. He comes from the fighting city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA. Please welcome the former NABO, NABF, UBF, and WBC Continental America's lightweight champion, Hammerin' Hank Lundy. And his opponent now making his way to the stage. His professional record, 21 victories, 3 defeats, 14 wins, coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Kirby, Liverpool, England, is the former British, Commonwealth, and European champion, Robbie Davies Jr. Now to the scale, Hammerin' Hank Lundy.
Okay, still 141 and 4 ounces.
141 and 4 ounces for Hammerin' Hank Lundy. Got 2 hours to make the weight. Now to the scale, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Robbie Davies Jr.
139 and 2 ounces.
139 and 2 ounces for Robbie Davies Jr.
Chris, face off. Get that off. Can we get that off? 1 pound. Thought we were going to be a few pounds under. And Robbie. On the line to the front first, please. Face to face, please.
Robbie Davies Jr., Hammerin' Hank Lundy, 10 rounds for the vacant WBA Continental Super Lightweight Championship.
So the first drink will be a good one for Robbie Davies Jr. He looked very, very happy to make weight. I think Lundy's got a little bit to shave off there as well, hasn't he?
I just see Eddie mouth to Lundy, will you get that off? And it's just Lundy went, yeah, no problem. So yeah, I think there may be a pound.
Yeah, I think so. So that's an intriguing fight, that one. 10 rounds, WBA Continental Super Lightweight title, Robbie Davies Jr. and American Hank Lundy. Before our chief support, Katie Taylor, defending the undisputed lightweight world titles against Kazakhstan's Feruza Sharipova. Both women are ready to weigh in, so let's not delay them any further. David, back to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to weigh in the chief support of the evening on Saturday night for the stat card from Liverpool, England, as Eddie Hearn from Matchroom Boxing is proud to present 10 rounds for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world. And now making her way to the stage, please welcome the challenger. Her professional record, 14 victories, only 1 defeat. She has 8 wins coming by way of knockout. She fights out of Taraz, Kazakhstan, is the former WIBA lightweight champion, Feruza Sharipova. And her opponent now making her way to the stage. Her professional record, a perfect one. 19 fights, 19 victories, 6 of them coming by way of knockout. In 2012, she captured Olympic gold, and as a professional has become a 2-division world champion, fighting out of Bray, County Wicklow, Ireland. Here is the reigning, defending, undefeated, and undisputed welterweight champion, lightweight champion of the world, Katie Taylor. Now to the scale, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome the challenger, Feruza Sharipova. 134 and 4 ounces for the challenger, Sharipova. And now to the scale, the undisputed lightweight champion of the world, Katie Taylor.
And 11 ounces.
134 and 11 ounces for the defending champion, Katie Taylor.
In the middle. He won't be happy. Lines, please. The lines, please. To the front there, please. Face to face, please.
Katie Taylor, Feruza Sharipova, 10 rounds for the undisputed lightweight championship of the world.
So both inside championship weight, we have a fight tomorrow night for the undisputed lightweight world championship, and with Amanda Serrano going the week after, be a very, very interesting fortnight for women's lightweight boxing. Sharipova looks physically very, very strong indeed as well, Darren.
Yeah, she's confident. She's in the fight of her life, that's for sure, but she's got the opportunity to make her dreams come true. There's some huge fights looming for the winner of this, so it's so important that, you know, we have a good fight and we can move on to an amazing 2022.
Yeah, we certainly can. Well, that is our chief support, Taylor and Sharipova. 10-2's the undisputed world lightweight crown, and that leads us very nicely onto our main event in Liverpool. Penultimate fight week in the UK on the zone around the world, and it is CONOR BENN and Chris Algieri. I'm hearing that both fighters are ready to weigh in, so let's not delay them any further. We'll hand you back over to David Diamante.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to weigh in the main event of the evening from Liverpool, England, here on Saturday night, as Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing, in association with Joe DeGuardia of Star Boxing, are proud to present 12 rounds of boxing for the WBA Continental Welterweight Championship. And now making his way to the stage, please welcome the challenger. His professional record, 25 victories, 3 defeats. He has 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Green Lawn, New York, here is the Fighting Collegian, the pride of Huntington, the former WBO Junior Welterweight Champion of the World, Chris Algieri. And his opponent now making his way to the stage, undefeated as a professional, 19 victories, no defeats. He has 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Ilford, Essex, England, Saturday night, making his 5th defense of his title. Here's the popular and hard-hitting, reigning, defending, undefeated WBA Continental Welterweight Champion, CONOR the Destroyer Ben. Now to the scale of challenger, Chris Algieri. 146, bang on for the challenger, Chris Algieri, 146 pounds. And now to the scale, ladies and gentlemen, Conor the Destroyer Benn.
146 and 8 ounces.
146 pounds and 8 ounces for Conor the Destroyer Benn.
To the front there.
Conor Benn versus Chris Algieri, 12 rounds for the WBA Continental Welterweight Championship, Liverpool, England, Matchroom Boxing, live on Dazn.
Conor Benn weighing in 146.8. They're professional as ever. That man, Chris Algieri, 146 pounds. I think he's the second heaviest he's ever been on the scales. I'm not quite sure how he ever used to make the 140 pound limit. Looking at him there, because he's got a couple of inches in height on Conor. He's going to be slightly rangier man tomorrow night, and he will use every bit of experience that he's had over a very good career to make things very, very difficult for Ben.
He's going to have to, and I think it's obvious. It's obvious. That's what he has an advantage over Conor with. He has that experience. He has that ring know-how. We spoke about Conor. You know, he's still a work in progress. He's still learning on the job. Algieri's done it all. Yeah. He knows how to fight. He knows how to manage rounds and these 12-round distance. So it's going to be an intriguing contest. It really will. You know, it really is. As Ben learned from the Granados fight, you know, how good is Ben? Look, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to an explosive contest. That's for sure.
Yeah, certainly. Certainly are. 10 rounds on the bill. All starts 4 o'clock tomorrow on Before the Bell, Matchroom Boxing's YouTube channel. Darren and I will be calling Joe Mcgrail, Callum French, Jordan Gill and Paddy Lacey's fights for the live broadcast starts. Kevin Agyarko, Peter Mcgrail, the first two to get us underway in Liverpool. Brilliant night tomorrow night, headlined of course by Conor Benn and Chris Algieri, supported by Katie Taylor and Feruza Sharipova, live on Dazn around the world. Main broadcast starts 6 p.m. local time. Do not miss it. Have a great Friday, folks. Enjoy tomorrow morning, and we will see you on Fight Night. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. It's now time for the featured bout of the evening. From the 4 corners of the world to the 4 corners of this ring, the fight starts now!
This is something that comes along every now and then in generation, and it's special. And it's no hype. I'm telling you, it's special.
No respect to this guy. Let's go.
Now he's got that fire inside. You better believe it now. That was something special.
Canelo gets the win.
20 rounds, 12 team victory.
It is over.
professional record, a perfect one.
Remember, capture the body.
Great finish from a great finisher.
It was Lamb